2026 is going to break Aries, but not in the way you think. It's not about losing battles. It's about not being able to use aggression as a shield anymore. Other astrologers will tell you 2026 is your year of bold victories and fearless conquests. I'm going to give you the brutal truth. 2026 is the year when your performed confidence stops working. When someone finally sees through the warrior mask and asks the question you've been running from your entire life. Who are you when you're not fighting? And you won't have an answer. Stay until the end. This is going to hurt, but you need to hear it. I've analyzed Aries placements for 18 years. What I discovered isn't bravery. It's terror dressed up as courage. The Aries you think is fearless isn't fearless at all. They're just better at attacking before they can be exposed. And 2026 is the year the universe forces you to stop attacking and start feeling. 2026 is going to test Aries in 3 ways that will feel cruel, but are absolutely necessary. First, between January and April, someone is going to challenge you and you won't be able to respond with aggression. It might be at work. It might be in your relationship. It might be with family. But for the first time in your life, the nuclear option won't be available. You can't yell. You can't dominate. You can't storm out. You're going to have to sit there, vulnerable, and actually communicate. No armor. No weapons. Just you. And it's going to terrify you. Because underneath every aggressive move Aries makes is a defensive one. Every attack is protection. Every raised voice is a plea that says, please don't see how scared I am. And in 2026, someone is going to see it anyway. Second, between May and August, you're going to realize that performing confidence is exhausting you. It might be burnout. It might be a breakdown. It might be your body saying, I can't keep pretending to be invincible. But 2026 is going to show you that being the warrior 24/7 isn't sustainable. It's killing you. And you're going to have a choice. Keep going until you completely shatter or finally admit that you're allowed to rest. That being strong doesn't mean never being tired. That you can put the sword down and still be worthy of love. Third, between September and December, someone you love is going to say the words that will change everything. I don't need you to be strong. I need you to be real. And you won't know how to respond. Because your entire identity is built on strength. On being the one who fights. On never showing weakness. You've spent your whole life believing that love equals protection. That you're valued when you're the shield. But this person is going to tell you they don't need a shield. They need a human being. And 2026 is the year you learn the difference. Here's the psychology behind it. Aries is a fire sign ruled by Mars, the planet of war and aggression. But what most people don't understand is that Mars isn't just about external battles. It's about internal ones. Aries isn't fighting the world. Aries is fighting the terrifying belief that without conflict, they don't exist. That if they're not dominating, they're disappearing. And Aries internalized this so young that they don't even remember learning it. Maybe it was a parent who only paid attention during tantrums. Maybe it was being told that crying is weakness. Maybe it was watching someone they loved get hurt and deciding never again I'll be strong enough to protect everyone. But somewhere along the way, Aries confused being strong with being constantly ready for war. And 2026 is the year that confusion gets exposed. The tragedy of Aries is this. They think confidence is the absence of fear. So they perform it. They walk into every room like they own it. They speak with certainty even when they're guessing. They pick fights not because they want to win, but because fighting feels safer than being still. Because when you're still, you have to feel. And feeling means confronting the question Aries has been running from since childhood. What if I'm not actually that special? What if I'm just ordinary? What if all this noise I make is just to drown out the silence where I'd have to admit I don't know who I am? And 2026 won't let you run anymore. The universe is going to corner you. It's going to put you in situations where aggression doesn't work. Where confidence can't be performed. Where you have to show up as you actually are, not as the warrior you pretend to be. And it's going to feel like dying. But here's what Aries needs to understand. Vulnerability isn't weakness. It's the only path to actual strength. So what can an Aries do to not just survive 2026, but actually transform through it? First, practice not reacting. When someone challenges you, when someone criticizes you, when someone sees through your mask, count to 10 before you respond. Not for them. For you. Because every time you react with aggression, you're reinforcing the belief that your worth depends on domination. That you only matter when you're winning. 2026 is the year to break that pattern. Let someone challenge you and don't fight back. Let someone see you uncertain and don't perform certainty. Let there be 5 seconds of silence where you don't have an answer and watch what happens. The world doesn't end. You don't disappear. You just become real. Second, admit when you're scared. Out loud. To another human being. Use these 4 words that Aries has never said in their entire life. I'm scared. Not I'm concerned or I'm being strategic or I'm just being careful. No, I'm scared. Say it to someone you trust. Say it when you're about to pick a fight because fighting feels safer than admitting you don't have control. Say it when you're performing confidence and your hands are shaking underneath the table. 2026 is going to demand this from you. And when you say it, you're going to discover something that performed confidence never gave you. You're going to discover that vulnerability doesn't make you weak. It makes you human. And being human is what actually connects you to other people. Third, rest without guilt. Take one day in 2026 where you do nothing productive. You don't work out. You don't chase goals. You don't prove anything to anyone. You just exist. And when the anxiety comes, and it will come because Aries associates rest with worthlessness, breathe through it. Remind yourself that your value isn't based on what you accomplish. You matter because you're alive. Not because you're strong. Not because you win. Because you exist. And that's enough. 2026 isn't going to be easy for Aries. But if you do this work, if you let 2026 break down the performed confidence and show you what's underneath, you're going to come out the other side with something you've never had. Real confidence. The kind that doesn't need to prove itself. The kind that doesn't attack first. The kind that can sit in a room with uncertainty and not combust. Peace. Actual peace. Not the temporary relief of winning a fight, but the deep knowing that you're okay even when you're not dominating. And if you love an Aries, here's what you need to know. Their aggression isn't about you. It's about them. When they pick a fight, they're not trying to hurt you. They're trying to feel safe. When they perform confidence, they're not being arrogant. They're terrified that if they stop performing, you'll see how ordinary they fear they are and leave. You have a choice. You can keep letting them hide behind the warrior mask, or you can do the hardest, most loving thing possible. You can say, I see you. I see the fear underneath the aggression. I see the insecurity underneath the confidence. And I'm not going anywhere. Here's the script. When they pick a fight, don't fight back. Say this instead. I know you're scared right now. You don't have to fight me to feel safe. I'm not your enemy. Let's just talk. Will they hear it the first time? Probably not. Will they try to escalate anyway? Almost definitely. But keep saying it. Keep refusing to engage in the war. Keep showing them that love doesn't require combat. And eventually, in 2026, they might finally believe you. Aries isn't confident. Aries is terrified. And once you see that pattern, you can't unsee it. Are you an Aries? What scares you more, being vulnerable or being alone? Comment below. Be honest. If you want to understand why 2026 is going to force this transformation, watch my full video. Aries isn't confident, they're insecure. I explain the complete psychological pattern that 2026 is going to dismantle. Link in the description. Next video, Taurus 2026. The year you finally have to leave the comfort zone. See you there.